We're recording.
Okay.
All right, let's go. And I'm going to be quiet for one more second, and I'm going to try and do the intro. I'm going to try and do this where people don't hear like the first part, because I've been doing that in my podcast, and I just can't edit out the first part. I'm really bad at it. So I've just been letting it sound uh, awkwardly in the front, and I don't care. I'll probably be doing that with this too. But I'm going to try and see if we can figure this out. So, all right, we're going to do it. 3, 2. Hi, everybody. Now, I've done a non-spoiler review because that's the way I was taught to review movies and comic books for Avengers Endgame. Now, since everybody but James Cameron have seen the film, I think it's time to really talk about spoilers. So, brought my friend Deadpoolzilla to sit here and talk with me. Yeah, he's right next to me, right here. And we're going to be talking about this Avengers Endgame movie that all the kids are talking about. So, before we get any further, I'd like to welcome my guest, Deadpoolzilla. Say hi.
Wait, this isn't Steve-Volution? Why was I summoned?
Oh, no. Well, we'll talk about its effects on the Gem homeworld. But let's see. We'll be doing a Steve-Volution, I don't know, soon. There's just been no information out there, so it's been kind of hard to do Steven Universe material.
Yeah, there's been more leaks from Mortal Kombat than there have been for Steven Universe.
Good lord, yeah, that's true. So yeah, if you have any, ideas, or hey, if anybody watching this has any ideas, throw us a line. Maybe we'll be able to do a couple topics before any big announcements come out in the next month or two. So hey, with that said, let's get to this live-action Marvel movie that seems to be popular with the kids. All right. I've seen your review. I've reviewed it. I think we're kind of both out there that we're kind of pretty positive on the movie, I think.
Yeah, it's astonishing that I managed to go all the way to Wednesday without it being spoiled for me.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, I literally, every time I scrolled through Facebook, whenever I saw, a potential spoiler, I treated it like I'm trying to disarm an IED mine.
Oh, God, yeah, I know. And I keep that up. I've been trying to do that lately in the last few big movies. I try to see it in the weekend, Saturday, Sunday at the latest, and I do my best to avoid stuff specifically talking about it on Twitter and YouTube and such. I think the longest I went was Last Jedi. It was about a week, 10 days when I didn't have a chance to go to see it, and that was a little difficult, and even more so because people are arguing about it. So that was the longest I've done in recent history. I've been pretty quick, and I'm really glad I went and saw this pretty quick, because it's hard not to talk about the movie without talking about the movie.
Yeah.
So
this is one of the few times where it's hey, did you see that one thing with the one guy? Oh, you didn't? Shit.
Oops. Well, probably wouldn't have liked it anyway. Yeah. So, let's get into, I guess we don't really have to talk about the movie's about, or, break down the plot or anything like that, unless you want to. But yeah, essentially, I wish I had done a prediction video, because I kind of had a feeling that this would play out in a certain way, and I wish I had, because I would have looked like a genius, or at least someone who knew what he was talking about, because I had this feeling what happened did happen. They would make one mission to Thanos, and Captain Marvel would be very helpful in that, and they would take him down, and they realized it was too late, and then Ant-Man comes back, and he does this time travel thing with them, and that's going to be the bulk of the movie. And sure enough, that's where we went. And that, I've heard some people talk about how they were really surprised by those twists. And I gotta say, I am really impressed with the method of keeping their cards close to their chest with these trailers. Like, they barely revealed anything. They're very impressed because they knew people were going to see it. I mean,
Yeah,
there's no point in wasting everything.
there was even they didn't even need to show a trailer. They knew people were going to see it.
Yeah, and that to me strikes so much confidence that the Russo brothers, Kevin Feige, Disney, Marvel, it's like, look, we know we don't have to blast it, all the images, to get you to go. We know you're gonna be there. God, that was smart, and I hope that's influential in the future with movies like this.
And a movie's effective when on a Wednesday night you still get a packed house in the theater.
Yeah, it was packed. My theater, geez, it felt like they were in every theater in the multiplex I went to, and it was still pretty full. And it's a 3-hour film. That's the hilarious thing. Like, just they're showing after showing after showing for this 3-hour movie. Very impressive, and I'm very excited to see what this means. The thing is, when I first saw Avengers, I've mentioned this before. When I first saw Avengers, I was really impressed by the fact that they would pull it off, and they did it. And my mind is even blown further that we've gotten so deep into this universe that we can do all these characters and have all these stories and genres mixing, and it feels pretty natural. Like, nothing. I haven't heard many people talk about being lost or feeling kind of thrown by all this stuff thrown at you. I think one of the advantages of having characters and having characters you care about and mean something to you, that okay, if you just get to fall in love with these characters, then you can follow them through any crazy crap. Right. And that's kind of what comic books do, and that's what these films have been doing.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I've been kind of rambling on.
For me, this was, you could have touted this as the final Marvel movie, and I think people would have been satisfied. I mean, I'm glad it's not. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But I think this is what makes it so great is that you don't know what's going to happen next. I mean, Spider-Man Far From Home is going to be our first step into this post-Endgame universe, and it feels like, we're really stepping up the game here, and everything in this film felt natural, and like you said, and if you thought Infinity War was a spectacle, Endgame said, oh no, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, they were holding back.
Yeah. This was an excellent finale to this half of the Marvel universe for the past 11 years. I would also say that this has also been the best acting, and not to say no one was a bad actor in these past films, but everyone gives it their 130% in every scene in this film.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The standouts would be, of course, Robert Downey Jr., just the main six Avengers, because every time they're on screen and having a moment, I came close to crying 4 times in this movie.
Oh yes. Yeah, the main group, of course, were perfect. I want to give shout outs to, I guess, the secondary group. Karen Gillan, I think.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of hers anyway, and she has taken. It's also an advantage of the writing that she's just kind of looked out with this character. But her excellent acting and the writing that's gone into this character, to a pretty I don't know. B-list character maybe in the regular comics. I really love her in this. And she has,
this is the most character development she had since the second Guardians movie.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe her history in Doctor Who kind of influenced the Russo brothers with this. It's we have a companion here in the movie. with this crazy time travel crap. She knows how to act in that.
Totally.
Yeah.
The other thing I think is prudent to say is that while the time travel is total bullshit, let's not kid ourselves.
Time travel is
Like,
always bullshit.
yeah, but time travel is always bullshit. That's the thing. Like, everyone says, no, bullshit, time travel has to be a specific way. And I'm like, if you watch Doctor Who, then you know it's all bullshit.
Exactly. Well, that's what Lindsay was telling me, like, when she was listening to somebody complain about this. She was like, look, it's timey-wimey. Just, you kind of gotta know when to let it go.
Yeah.
Because, look, time travel is, I don't know, a bullshit concept that, we kind of don't really have any facts on. So, I don't know. I mean, it's all theoretical.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't get to... Maybe it's because I'm not the biggest fan of time travel. So, I don't know. It's like, okay, if it sounds reasonable enough and the story's good enough and I'm like, I'm engaged, fine. As far as I'm concerned, one of the greatest time travel moments in film history is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure when they find the keys. That's the greatest.
Yeah.
Like, hey, how do we break into my dad's office? Well, wait, my dad lost his keys. Let's go back in time before he lost them and put them here. That's the best scene I've ever seen involving time travel in my life.
Oh, man. But, oh, man, I guess, like, another thing we could talk about is just, God, I don't even know where to start. I guess, like, the big thing is Thanos himself is that I know some people were like, he didn't get a lot of spotlight. No, he had a lot of spotlight. This is he got away with punching everyone in the dick. This is everyone getting back up.
Yeah, this is that last scene in Death Proof where the villain gets pounded. And hell, man, we get to see him killed twice. This is great. Like, I was so mad at him and so mad at everyone. Oh, he has a point. You should probably really consider... No, fuck you. And fuck Thanos. So, we get to fucking kill him twice in this.
Yeah, and what I like is how it mirrors his, like, from how he was in Infinity War to Endgame, where in the first half, he sits down and is like, yeah, I won. I get to have my victory. And at the end of this, after all of his army gets dusted, he's just sitting down in failure. Like, he's absorbing all of the failure. So I like how it mirrors his end in Infinity War in here.
It's so great that the Russos give us that second to savor his failure before he dies. Like, yeah, you lost, you piece of shit.
You lost, Grimace.
Yeah, look at my face. Look at our faces. Oh, no, you lost your big theory evil thing. Oh, no. Great. It was awesome.
And there were some legit moments where I had to refrain from cheering. Like, when Steve picked up the hammer.
Oh, my God. Yeah, because you know what? I don't know. Sometimes I want to cheer, but I'm like too focused in on the moment. It's rare when I actually like yell because I'm in it. And yeah, that was one of the great moments. And I love how it almost feels paid off from the scene in Age of Ultron. As well as like the scene, people talking about the scene with the wall of the female heroes.
Yeah.
Which is great. I've heard people complain about that, and I've heard people praise it. And to me, it struck me as natural, because we have all these women running around in this battlefield. To me, it felt natural when they all kind of lined up. Because, like, look, no one's bitching about, like, the 3 guys that showed up to fight Thanos, like, literally 5 minutes earlier in the movie. Like, no one's going, oh, man, I can't believe they had, all guys, stand up for Thanos. Like, no, look, man, that's how it goes. And
yeah, I mean, like, that's a moment, like, I would have felt like it was missing if all the female superheroes didn't get together to, like, fight as one for a bit.
Yeah, and that's a conversation I've been hearing among fans and the filmmakers, too, about, increasing that status. So that to me was like Marvel going, okay, we know. we're here. We hear you. So yeah, that was a great cheering moment for me.
Yeah.
That and yeah, I mean shit. Like the second when everyone shows up behind Steve, the Avengers assemble moment, is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, that was definitely one of those moments where I'll be honest, like, I don't know, maybe 20-year-old me could not have believed they would do that in a movie. Because we'd be excited, like, when 2 superheroes would show up in one movie.
Yeah. But to have it the entire universe. We also, if you look really closely, you can see Howard the Duck in the background.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, I was like, Howard's here. He's carried a really big ass gun from the 90s.
Yeah, maybe he brought his girl band, and they're gonna like play cheesy 80s songs.
Yeah, that will just make the Shatari just turn their guns on themselves.
Oh shit, Leah Thompson's here. Run!
I don't want to live in a world with Leah Thompson. Just sticks the blaster in his mouth.
Does Disney own the Lucas Howard the Duck film?
I don't know.
I can never remember if Disney bought Star Wars or all of Lucasfilm.
Well, they actually now own Indiana Jones. So.
Yeah, I mean, if they bought all of Lucasfilm, then they did buy Howard the Duck, which to me, like, if Disney owns that, you could retroactively make that like part of the MCU, and go, okay, the timeline is fixed again. It's Captain America, First Avenger, Howard the Duck, Captain Marvel.
Oh man. But anyway, the other thing, like, do you want to talk? Okay, let's talk about it now. What did you think of the deaths?
The deaths, yeah. Specifically, like, we talked about Thanos, but you're talking about, of course, Iron Man, Tony Stark. That was, I knew it was coming. I actually expected both him and Captain America to die, since I know that the actors aren't coming back. So I knew one of them would, and that was, it still didn't change the emotional impact. I really did feel it. And, this is kind of a thing, this kind of thing I see all the time in comic books, and I don't care anymore because, like, I know they'll be back in 2 years. This is different.
But it's still permanent here, yeah.
Yeah, this is different. I mean, if the movies were truly like the comics, Robert Downey Jr. would be back in 2 movies. But that's not going to happen. So it really did feel real, and, you grow attached into this character. And also, his death, wow, I mean, he saves the universe from Thanos ending and bringing us back full circle to I Am Iron Man. And his death, he doesn't get any, like, long goodbye or any kind of real speech. I mean, he barely can speak.
Yeah.
And that moment,
everyone is just around him.
Yeah, his loved ones. Yeah, I'm glad Pepper was there, and Peter Parker was there, as well as the others. And it was moving. It's one of the more moving moments I've seen in the whole franchise.
Yeah. I also just love that those scene, like that funeral scene, is just done so well. I also like that not everyone came back. Like, Vision didn't come back. Present time Gamora didn't come back.
We have a new Gamora, and we'll see what happens with Black Widow. And, oh yeah, you mentioned Black Widow. We'll talk about Black Widow. We'll see what happens with Black Widow, and we'll see what happens with Vision, because they have stuff coming up. So we'll see what their plan is with that. But yeah,
I'm going to go on. What's going on with Vision is probably going to be very inspired by Tom King's run in Vision.
I would agree with that. That's actually what I've been thinking. Actually, the first time I saw him in a sweater in Civil War, I was like, oh, hey, that's a little bit of the Tom King Vision there. Okay, all right, I'm into this. I like that aspect of the character.
Yeah, but I feel like with Tony's death is just like that's also a great end to an era. Like that's a signification that the old guard,
Yes.
new guards coming,
And this,
and it feels like just a whole new universe. And I know it's nothing, but that scene with his dog having that scene is like, you want to get cheese? He's like, what do you want? He's like, I want cheeseburgers. I was like, oh, Tony wanted when he came back.
I know,
And
I know.
and that whole scene, I was like, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry.
And it's, well, that's one of the things that makes these movies work so well, and that's why so many people who don't even read the comics get into them, is because of those human moments. You know, they understand that I can get into your weird ass universe if you just throw me some people and some feelings, and there you go.
Yeah. There's also just some great moments with Tony, like with his father and having that kind of closure.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
That scene was great, and you're of course fearful, like, oh crap, he's gonna get made, and then you realize what they're doing with the scene and how much it means to him to hear Howard say that to him.
Yeah, and I love how it references the Peggy Carter TV series by bringing in the actor who played Jarvis in the show.
Oh, that was so great.
Yeah, I was like, hey, they directly referenced Peggy Carter.
They realize that one of their shows exists. Great.
Where's Cole? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I know. But,
I was thinking to myself, hey, who's Agent Cole? Never mind.
Yeah, forget it. But, let's see. Let's move on to actually one of the deaths. Like, something that actually really surprised me was Black Widow's death.
Because you think she's going to be safe.
Yeah, you think she's going to be safe because the movie was announced, so it's like, well, she's obviously coming back. Like, no, she gets killed, and she gets like real killed. So I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And
prequel movie.
Yeah, I know. That was kind of a movie as well, because I also like that character quite a bit, and we go into one of those kind of playful fight scenes, for real, mirroring their fight scene in Avengers, and kind of mimicking all the like tension they've had over their careers. And this one's for everything. So
yeah,
it could have gone either way. I think, thematically they could have done Hawkeye sacrificing himself for his family, and then that would be like a tragedy in a way, that they'd come back and he was gone, and he did that for them. That would be dramatic.
And that's what I was thinking the whole time.
Yeah, and to be honest, like Black Widow sacrificing herself because that's all she's had. That's all she's been building up to, and she wasn't going to let this go no matter what. I mean, to me, that also dramatically paid off, and that's an interesting kind of scene, because both choices would have done well for the film, and I don't know, it just really sucks that we had to lose the character that way.
It's a kick in the balls.
It is a kick in the balls.
It is a kick in the. I will say that they didn't like go too deep. It was like, holy shit, that's the Red Skull right there, and I kind of would have liked to have seen Cap and Red Skull meet again after all these years.
Yeah, that's been more for the audience than the characters, because everybody who's run into him doesn't really recognize him. I guess Black Widow would probably peg him, but like, hey, look, we're kind of in a thing right now. But
it's also kind of a down, and it's a minor like nitpick, and it's nothing huge, but I know Adam Warlock's going to be in Guardians 3, but I would have loved to have seen him and Thanos like face off on the big screen, since they're so connected to one another.
That's true, and I think it's just an unfortunate matter of timing. They just kind of weren't able in the story to get him properly set up just yet. I mean, when you think about it, like Captain Marvel was just introduced. So yeah, it would have been a little bit, I don't know. It would have been a little bit odd for this character to just suddenly appear, and handle things like, well, who the hell is this person?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very curious what they'll do with Adam Warlock now that Thanos is not going to be involved.
Yeah. There's all like speaking of Guardians 3, there's apparently another character that I called the moment we had that moment with Thor going into space with the Guardians. Apparently Beta Ray Bill's gonna show up there.
All set, all ready for Beta Ray Bill. I'm all ready.
Yeah, I was like, okay, we have Stormbreaker, we have him going into space, and this is and Chris Hemsworth has one more movie in his contract. Oh, it's gonna be Bill.
Yep. Oh man, that's gonna be. Because
look,
we make Rocket and Groot work. We can make. They proved they can make anything work.
Yeah, you can make a horse-headed alien wielding a big hammer work.
Yep. Movies have been broken for the better. So now all that bullshit that they told us they couldn't do with comic book movies is over. The MCU ended all that. Like I remember when the Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie came out, and I was reading in Comic Scene magazine an interview with the director, and he was asked, why doesn't the Punisher have the Punisher symbol on his chest in the movie? He never wears it in the movie. And he said, it's going to look really silly with him having that symbol running around like a comic book. It's like... It's like...
Do you know what you're making?
Yeah, I know. It's like we've changed... Like, films had such an attitude about what would look wrong on film. And, there was all these... And you know what? For a lot of time, a lot of us comic fans believe that. Like, oh, no, you can't have Wolverine wear his costume in the movies. That would look stupid. We believed it. And you know what? No.
Which I said, this movie says, fuck that.
Yeah, the MCU in general says fuck that. Like, no, we can do this stuff. And, it's funny, you can watch some of the earlier MCU films where they're still kind of playing by movie rules, and then, slowly, I don't know, probably Avengers is when things, change. Or Thor, you can even go back further.
Yeah.
Where it's like, nah, screw that. Let's put the comics on the screen and let God sort it out.
Yeah. Speaking of Thor, I love his character arc in here because he, like, just when you think he hit rock bottom, the bottom opens up and it goes deeper.
Oh my God, that was so brutal. And I knew he would be kind of feeling that, but like he sunk even deeper. Because you'd think maybe killing Thanos at the beginning would kind of get some of that back for him, but no. I mean, it's worthless.
Yeah.
And it's like that line, revenge is the most worthless of causes, and he didn't feel better after killing Thanos.
Yeah. Although it was nice to see Korg and Meek survived.
Oh my God, yeah. That was great. It's one of those things just like, hey, are these characters okay? Because they really didn't answer that in Infinity War. So, and I'm happy to see that Asgard made it to Earth.
Well, what's left of Asgard?
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I expected.
Yeah.
But, well, in the comics, I think it was like more fantastic Asgard, but now it's, to be honest, like they kind of like suggest it looks like any kind of fishing village because Thor doesn't care. Like he's all depressed, so it's like, hey, do whatever you want. I
also like
giving
how
Valkyrie. Giving Valkyrie the keys to Asgard on Earth. I think that's kind of like him giving Asgard permission to be Asgard on Earth. So I would not be surprised if Asgard becomes more and more fantastic the next few times we see it in film.
I was actually going to bring up the Valkyrie thing of her becoming queen because like like you said, a symbol of them like coming to a new age, and it's actually hopefully it'll take a little bit of when in the Drazinski run of Thor where they were kind of just on Earth and everyone was like, oh okay, gods are real.
Yeah. Um, they've been thinking about Straczynski because, like, even in the earlier Thor films, like Straczynski even shows up as a cameo in one of them. So I knew that was kind of on their minds. So I'm not surprised that they eventually came in this direction. And you're right. There's actually quite a bit of passing of the guard here. Obviously, with most obvious is Captain America handing Falcon the shield, but also with Thor and Valkyrie, him telling like, no, you're the rule of our people now.
You know what I'm kind of hoping for the end of Guardians 3 is that Thor dies, Beta Ray gets Stormbreaker, and he goes back to Earth, doesn't say anything. Valkyrie just sees the Bifrost and is like, oh, Thor's back, and sees, Beta Ray standing there with Stormbreaker, and she's like, oh. Mm-hmm. And he's like, hey, what's up?
Wow, I wonder, I can't even imagine who will get to voice Beta Ray Bill. Oh, I can't even take a guess at who would be interesting enough to do that.
Yeah.
But after seeing them with some of these characters, I can kind of guess a certain attitude and probably a certain type of actor, but I can't really I can't even pretend to guess. Let's see.
You want to talk about the Sam Wilson thing?
Yes, actually, since I brought it up, let's talk about it. What are your thoughts on that?
I was actually surprised because I was thinking it was going to be Bucky who got the shield because it just kind of seemed like natural. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I was fine with him being Captain America in the Remender run. Mm-hmm. I can be fine with it here.
Both were a logical choice. Both were a satisfying choice. Either one of them, and they both had it in the comics. So I mean, kind of, it doesn't really matter. I guess in the films, there have been visual suggestions of Bucky taking over. But when you think about it,
Sam was with him the longest.
Sam was with him the longest, and Sam was also in the military where Bucky was a terrorist. Yeah. So maybe that might be a little bit more difficult to get him to be accepted as Captain America than it would be for Sam. So
who was an American citizen, a not guy who killed, several hundred people in his lifetime,
including the Starks. So I think Sam makes sense, based specifically on this universe. I mean, you could probably make a stronger case out of.
Look like.
I know, because I don't know if I ever got used to seeing the Captain America costume blended with Falcon's costume. I don't know if I ever really fully got into that. I don't know. Maybe it's just the wings just kind of would throw me off. It reminded me a lot of like Tim Drake's New 52 Robin costume where he had the wings. It's like, that just looks, I don't know. It just always kind of looked off. Maybe in the the films that'll look a little bit more natural.
And it does make me wonder along with the Loki TV show, is that how is this going to play out after Endgame? Because this clearly says, if you want to know what happened to Loki, go check out the show coming on Disney Plus.
You bastards! How dare you make me get this thing? Oh,
yeah. And I'm guessing that's what. Oh, sorry.
Oh no! You're guessing.
I was guessing that what's probably going to happen in the Bucky Winter Soldier miniseries on the Disney Plus show is Sam coming to grips with Steve gone, and him taking he doesn't take it right away of taking the shield, but it's like at the end of the series he becomes the new Captain America.
I think that's a great idea. I think that makes a lot of sense. Because look, he just handed it to him. Like, you don't instantly just go, okay, that's me now.
How's the world going to react when Steve Rogers is gone and It's like, who's this guy?
I
I'm
think,
not.
yeah, I mean, he was just here a minute ago.
Yeah. But
I
yeah,
think,
that's the. Oh, sorry.
no, I was just gonna agree with you.
But yeah, speaking of Cap, oh, that ending scene was so perfect.
Oh, it was, and I love with this insanely epic film that was a multi-part franchise film and storyline that reaches cosmic boundaries. The last moment is Steve and Peggy dancing and having a kiss, and
Yeah.
it's beautiful, and it's intimate, and it's small, and it's touching, and I love the fact that they ended on that note.
Like, there you go. Not like a big heroic, like, ooh, another Avengers battle just around the corner or new villain. No, it's like, let Steve have his happy ending.
Yeah. Oh shit! I mean, they didn't even end it on some kind of shot where I think a lot of films would typically do, where it'd be like maybe the remaining Avengers like standing over a cliff, looking cool, posing. No, they didn't do that. They had us end with this moment, and I think
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was just this lovely scene of, see, after all that, Steve got his happy ending, and you did too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got their date.
Yeah. I know, so, like, there are some people in my theater who were ugly crying at that scene.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's appropriate reaction.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I was close to as well, but no, there were some legit, like, people, like, ugly crying, like Timon and Pumbaa in Lion King.
It's true. I mean, that's look. I mean, this. I knew going into it, like, okay, man, this is gonna be a little brutal. So, I mean, let's get ready. It didn't disappoint. I would have been.
Now,
How awful would it have been if it left us completely dry like that? Like that would
yeah,
even if it did all the technical things to get it, the story into that point. Like, man, how awful would it have been if we'd walked out going, didn't cry.
yeah. So let me ask you this: what was one character you were shocked to see again come back for this movie?
Ooh, oh, that's a good question. I mean, some I knew where I was going to see, like Peggy Carter and Ant-Man. I guess the Ancient One.
Yeah, same for me. I was like, that makes sense. She would still be Sorcerer Supreme at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, that made sense. I love that sequence with her and Hulk, where he's pleading with her to give him the eye, and while all hell's breaking loose. I love the fact that we got a glimpse of what she was doing during that sequence. Like, yeah, she was protecting the Sanctum.
Yeah, so it's like I wasn't planning on fighting aliens today, but fuck me.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like, oh yeah, I guess we would see her there. Okay, great. We get another scene with her, and what I really loved at the end of that sequence is when Banner tells her that, well, wait, if you guys would never give this thing up, well, why would Strange give away the eye? And I love how that was the thing that changed for her.
Yeah.
Like, wait, Strange gave that? Okay. And just trusted it. Like, okay, there's no way in hell he would have done that unless there was a plan. And I love, I mean, that says so much about her. Like, okay. Like,
yeah.
We have a plan always. We never do, things stupidly like that. So it's like, I'm going to trust this guy I haven't met yet.
Exactly.
Isn't that amazing? Like, she has so much trust in the dude she hasn't met yet.
And it was a big green, like, Shrek dude in dad jeans.
Oh. So, yeah.
For me, the characters that surprised me of seeing them come back outside of Ancient One was Robert Redford back as Alexander Pierce.
That was cool.
I was like, holy shit, how did you get Redford back? And same with Natalie Portman, because she had a legit 2 minutes in here.
I was not too surprised because I had seen her at the premiere. I was like, oh,
Right.
I bet she's in the movie. Robert Redford, I didn't know I was going to be in there. So that was cool. We also got to see those Hydra guys back.
Yeah. And a little reference to Secret Empire.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was so cool, and it fits so well into the movies they're doing, and it's also a reference to Secret Empire. Like,
Which is an event I despise with a burning passion, but I was like, I'll take it here.
yeah. Once again, they managed to do the comics a little bit better, which is weird, but okay. And I love how it mirrors the fight scene in the elevator from Winter Soldier, and Cap uses his brains in that scene. Like, let me just do the Hail Hydra. I know they're Hydra. So
Like, yeah.
So that was wonderful. I hesitate to bring this up as an answer on shocked to see, because he's been in these movies, but this version of the Hulk I did not expect to see.
Yeah, I was not expecting Professor Hulk. Although I will say, as a Hulk fan, I'm a little disheartened because that's supposed to be one of Hulk's most powerful incarnations, and I feel like they kind of nerfed him.
Well, he didn't really get to do much, really. A lot of what he was doing in this movie relied on other aspects of what he can do, not so much his strength. So,
I will
didn't get
I
a
will
chance
say
to
that,
do
like,
anything. But
on the other hand, like he actually got to bring everybody back. So I was like, "Ha, my boy did what you couldn't."
Mm-hmm. Professor Hulk is my favorite Hulk from the Peter David run. I absolutely love that version of the Hulk, and I could not believe my shit when they cut to that scene and he's in the coffee shop.
Yeah.
And
My
like,
personal, just
beautiful.
little tangent. My personal favorite Hulk is Joe Fixit,
Oh, that's my second favorite Hulk.
and he's back in the comics.
Yeah. I would love to see Joe Fixit like show up. I think that would be. I would love to see Mark Ruffalo take a chance at that. And I would also would love to see filmgoers' reaction to this version of the Hulk. Because I was talking to Lindsay about Joe Fixit, and actually Lindsay's barely knows anything about Hulk and Hulk history. So she like laughed out loud when I told her about that era of the Hulk. Because it's just so cool. It's just such a left turn for the character, and is still fun as hell. I'd love to see that show up in film.
Yeah. I'm also kind of hoping, but I'm afraid we won't get it, is now that we have X-Men back, can we just keep Ruffalo for just a one Hulk Wolverine fight?
Oh, yeah. We'll see. I am wondering, I did poo-poo that idea of the gauntlet time travel thingy made the X-Men exist, but now we are talking about multiverses and shit like that. So I don't know.
I don't want the X-Men to come from another universe. Especially, I don't want that with Fantastic Four. I want the Fantastic Four to be part of this universe. And
correct.
Honestly, the Fantastic Four should come before X-Men.
Well, that is going to happen. I'm going to make that prediction now. That will be first because those films were done first. They were over. We got 2 more X-Men movies coming from Fox. That's still not totally cold, and they kind of need to naturally let that sit for a minute. So that's always made sense to me that they wouldn't be instantly making X-Men movies.
Yeah.
So,
and if I'm being honest, it's all like the MCU, as much as I love it, it's just kind of felt empty without the first family there. Like, it's kind of like remember post Secret Wars in the Marvel comics, where it just didn't feel right of not having the Fantastic Four there.
Yeah, it did. I've had like Marvel writers tell me that. I met the writer of Unstoppable Wasp at a comic convention, and he said that was one of his influences in writing the comic, is because like he missed that type of optimistic sci-fi that he felt was gone in the Marvel Universe at the time. He wanted to make a book like that. And so it's like, yeah, fans and creators miss that. And I miss it in the MCU. There's just some pieces that'd be cool to see. And I feel like we're going to be getting that. We'll definitely get that first. And then we'll lead into the X-Men movies. And by the way, they may use the alternate thing, but I'll be honest, like, I am totally cool with mutants have been developing, and it hasn't gotten to, like, a large enough problem up until now.
Yeah, like, the snap is, like kickstarted something.
And, not even that. Like, let's say it's been a small problem, and things have escalated in the last couple of years. And maybe, one of the movies we can have escalation.
I kind of really want, if you want X-Men characters to show up outside of X-Men movies, have Rogue and Mystique in the next Captain Marvel movie.
That is, okay, all right, let's talk about that. Because that's been my, like, number one idea. Because I've been wanting to pitch this idea. Fuck, I'll go to Marvel right now if they're not planning to do it. I'll do it. Like, look, I'll do it. Give me the money. I will write this fucking script. Probably they already have their ideas of the second one. So what they should do is do it on the third one. And Mystique was Mystique was a Miss Marvel villain. And if I remember correctly, I may be wrong, but I think she debuted in Miss Marvel. So, and in Avengers 10, once she had Rogue on her side, she was like, fuck this Miss Marvel. Hey, Rogue, go get her. Go get the other Avengers. That was basically what she did. So how cool would it be to, like, premiere Rogue that way as a villain? And, like, a lot of film, like, fans of the character from film and the cartoon aren't familiar with her, like, days of villain. And let's just start her mean, like, and scary. Like, she crashes into and fights Carol and, like, saps her powers and sucks all of them. And, like, Carol is left, like, powerless. And
yeah, like, she has to rethink everything, because, like, the one, like, as much as I loved the Captain Marvel movie, I felt like all of her opponents were just kind of just, like, it just felt like she could just easily get past her other opponents, but with her powers robbed, it's going to be like learning from square one.
Well, they've been making comparisons to her as Superman in this universe, and, well, that's the problem with Superman in some stories. So yeah, let's do shit they do with Superman. It's like depower her and find where her character is and getting it back. And let's say, like, she's, like, broken, defeated, and go, okay, maybe I can't do this, and I suck, and I'm gonna go away. And then, like, Rogue and Mystique start doing shit with her powers. And, like, look, let me tell you something about Carol. You do not get in her face and take her shit and rub it in her face like that without her getting it back at you.
Yeah.
She's too damn stubborn. So yeah, we have this, like, nice build up, and, like, the taken down hero builds himself back up, and she'll, like, either maybe regenerate her powers, maybe binary style, in a way that Rogue can keep the powers, which is, I think, kind of similar to how they did it in the books.
Yeah.
And, that way, because also part of the reason why Rogue is a good guy is because, like, Carol's consciousness. I think the way it's explained like this, and I may be wrong, but when Miss Marvel first premiered, they were doing that kind of, like, split personality thing with her, where she would, like, black out and become Miss Marvel, and then when she was done, she'd turn back into Carol, and she wouldn't know what was going on. She'd have amnesias. Well, that was kind of like almost a persona. So that went to Rogue, and that influenced Rogue to stop being a terrorist and kind of, like, thinking about other people. I don't know if they could really do that, because Her powers and her amnesia really weren't portrayed as like a split personality, but they could kind of do it in a similar enough fashion. You could say, shit, she's so powerful, like she had to like regenerate, from like an ounce of power or something like that.
Yeah,
and that would be like, let's say Rogue like throws her in the fucking space. It's like, well, okay, I got to regenerate the power or die, and all these people are counting on me. I got to do it. That kind of story. I don't know, almost in a way like Iron Man 3, really.
Yeah.
So I want that movie.
So here's another question. With Thanos gone, the big question is, who's going to be the next big bad of the MCU?
Well,
like who?
My theory, this is so great because there's so many people that could. There's obviously, if you go in the Fantastic Four route, Doctor Doom or Galactus. Yeah. I keep thinking about Kang. The time-traveling conqueror. Look, there's no way they can monkey around with time and not get his attention.
Yeah, like maybe the after effects of their time travel kind of messed up his future empire, and he's like, "What the shit is wrong with you people?"
That would be perfect, and of course that would tie into this chapter right here, because like, hey, actions have consequences, and we can keep. I mean, it's a good way to keep going forward. There's no mention of him. But, like, oh, man, it's easy. Like, if he shows up and goes, hey, I was great until you started fucking this shit up. And,
history said that the Avengers lost and I got to come into power, so...
Yes. Oh, my God. And I've never been a big fan of that villain, but, I mean, if that's the way they're going to introduce him, that would be a fantastic way to do it.
Yeah, like, history, like, after the Avengers lost, Earth, Empire, Earth kind of, like, the whole after the snap thing, it was like they had to rebuild themselves for eons, and that's how Kang came into power.
Yep.
And then Thor and Iron Man, the rest of the Avengers kind of messed that up for him.
Yep, makes sense to me. That's the way to do it.
The other, like, I've got two, well, technically three in mind, but two kind of go together, is Doctor Doom and the Masters of Evil.
Yep. My favorite band, the Masters of Evil.
I think, I mean, they're not doing Legion of Doom, so Masters of Evil.
That was Metallica's third album, I believe.
So yeah, that would be a great one. You've still got several MCU villains lying around that you can, Doctor Doom can go to.
Yeah, you do.
And
that's what's so beautiful. There's so many of these characters just itching to be done.
Like, and the other way is you could lead to an Acts of Vengeance movie. If you've ever heard of that event.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember Acts of Vengeance.
The other villain, and this is another possibility with all the stuff the Russo brothers have wanted to do, is the Beyonder.
Yeah. Look, you can go bigger than Thanos. and that's the Beyonder, that's Galactus. That's the amazing thing. Like, people tend to look at films like this, well, you got to end on this because you're not going to top this. It's like, well,
have you ever read a Marvel comic?
Yeah, you kind of can. So, that's the beauty of this.
That's the other thing. You've now got the possibility of Magneto.
Oh yeah, like Magneto. Oh my God, like they can do Apocalypse correctly.
They can do Mojo, the Brood.
Yeah, they can definitely blend villains, like X-Men villains or Fantastic Four villains being everybody's problem.
Yeah. It's just like, again, that's what I love about Phase 4 is that we don't know what this shit's going on anymore.
Yeah, I assume. Do you think they'll be announcing what's next at the San Diego Comic-Con? That's kind of what I've been feeling.
San Diego is because I know it's July, but I think it's a few weeks after Far From Home.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I've been having this feeling like after Far From Home, we're gonna get the big announcement of the plan.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna get a plan of some capacity in the next few months, definitely. If not at Comic-Con, definitely at D23, the Disney Expo.
Yeah, Because, I mean, after all, like, in the last few years, they've been coming out, like, maybe 3 a year. I mean, shit, like, Black Panther was in theaters when Infinity War came out, and likewise this year, like, Captain Marvel and Endgame are in the theater at the same fucking time. Like, now they're done. Like, after the Spider-Man movie, they don't have any announced plans, so it's like, okay, all right, we'll see the Spider-Man movie and just wait for you to tell us what the next 5 years of our lives are going to be like.
Yeah, like we have, what was it? Black Widow, that's confirmed, but we don't know where it's going to be. I'm still like that Eternals movie, which I'm like, do we need Eternals?
If it's loosely based on the Neil Gaiman take on the Eternals, I think the answer is yes.
All right, so long as if we get another crack at Avengers, it's the Marvel Max Paul Jenkins series.
Yeah, because look, I am really trusting of this franchise. So, look, you can take stuff that we're not sure about, and spin into gold. So, like, okay, all right, look, Eternals, okay, never been a fan as the comic.
We're not going to get new Genesis, so might as well.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, I know. I mean, good lord. Be another decade or 15 years before DC gets back to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of all we have, in as far as anticipation. I do feel like they should maybe wait 3 to 5 years on X-Men.
Yeah. 3, like, I feel like it's going to be 3, maybe 4 at the latest, but I've got a feeling that they can't wait to do X-Men, but I just say do Fantastic Four first. That's what people really want.
Yeah. And look. I mean, you got, like, Black Panther sequel, Captain Marvel sequel. There'll probably be an Avengers film. There's probably another Spider-Man film, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Doctor Strange. And plus a couple of newbies like the Eternals and the Black Widow film. And so, yeah, they just... Yeah,
that's the other thing is, like, there's also...
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, there's also people saying, oh, outside of Fantastic Four and X-Men, what else do they have? I'm like, I can think of a few good characters they could throw out. Young Avengers, because that was clearly built up in this movie.
Oh my god, yeah. Look, shit, they could just call it Avengers.
Yeah. We've even got, like, we know that Kevin Feige said Kamala Khan's going to be in the MCU at some point.
I'm stoked for that. I was kind of hoping that maybe we'd get that stinger, there's her first cameo appearance in an issue at the end scene of a Captain Marvel comic was written like a stinger, like an end scene, like a post credit scene. It's like, okay, do that and put it in your movie. But of course, what they were doing, it wouldn't have fit into this movie. But I'm looking forward to that. I don't want her in a TV show. I want her in a movie. And
yeah. Hell, you could even do The Sentry as a movie.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm thinking the Ms. Marvel movie will be similar in tone to the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I would also say that, like, there's also now with this multiverse stuff, we could get Spider-Gwen and Miles in the MCU.
Yeah. Spider-Gwen, Miles, maybe even the Tom Hardy Venom. So I don't know. I mean, God, we could even see Blade.
Yeah, like
does Disney own that? I mean,
I think they do. I think they do own Blade. I know they're bringing in Ghost Rider to Hulu.
Okay, all right. We're readjusting the timeline. All right, it's first Avenger and Howard the Duck and Captain Marvel and then Blade. It's the first 4 films.
Oh man. Is there any characters you want to see in the MCU that you think could fit outside of Kamala?
She-Hulk. I've been dying for She-Hulk since the moment they mentioned they were doing a Hulk film, like, right after Iron Man. It's like, okay, when you bring She-Hulk? And it's like 11 years later, I'm still asking, hey, when you gonna bring She-Hulk? I don't know how they'll plan to do that. So yeah, I don't know if it'll be an action comedy, which I would kind of like, and kind of in the tones of the Ant-Man movies. But we'll see. Like, I don't know. It'd be fun to, like, she's trying to be a lawyer while being the Hulk, which to me is like, that's okay. That writes itself. So that would be fun.
I would say Nova is another good bet.
Oh yeah, and I feel like those threads are already there from the Guardians of the Galaxy films.
Yeah. But yeah, there's just so many. Like, you could even there's like even the chance of we could get an Illuminati movie.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, the Marvel universe is vast and infinite. Oh
yeah.
They could literally keep doing these films for 30 years.
And I don't think anyone would get bored of them.
I don't think so. They could keep the same timeline too. And you'll have this because here's what they could be thinking. It's like, okay, we could do 5 to 10 years on Fantastic Four, taking the lead with maybe an Avengers in the background, and then do like X-Men. They'll take the lead with Fantastic Four and maybe Avengers in the background, and it'd keep going. They could run. They could do a 30-year franchise on this stuff.
Exactly. Like, with Star Wars going to be taking a break after Episode 9,
I do think Star Wars should take a break.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think it's better that Star Wars doesn't get a movie every year, because that's a franchise I think people would be fatigued by.
I think Star Wars just doesn't work that way. I think they tried to see if they could get it to work that way, and I don't know. I just don't think the way it's just designed in our culture just works out like that. I like the idea of taking a 5-year break. I think is a nice breather between sagas.
Yeah.
Let us miss it for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, you're besides, you're doing TV shows. That'll wet everyone's whistle.
That's probably the plan. Like, give us a few TV shows. We'll be fine. Marvel's different. Give me 3 of those a year.
Yeah. Oh man.
So yeah, and look, I am excited to see, like, one of the things I think, since we're talking about the future, I'm also almost equally excited about the DC. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep calling it the DCEU, the DCEU's future, because it's very obviously influenced by what Marvel has been doing, and in a good way, in the correct way, not trying to copy what Marvel's doing word for word, but in the dark way. No, they're like appreciating. Marvel and Disney and Marvel Studios have been appreciating what makes their comics work, and they're applying them to film. And that's what the DC films need to do. Take what works about DC comics and characters and apply that to their films. And it looks like they're doing it. Like, Aquaman and Shazam were big hits, and they're fun movies. And what's the next one? Joker. Which is the dark one. And that, DC has those levels of, like, silly and dark. And it's not as interconnected as Marvel is. And so, okay, maybe they finally got it. Like, don't be just like us.
Yeah. Like, you could switch, like, DC gets bragging rights for now having soon to be 3 villain movies once they get Black Adam out.
Yeah.
And the first female superhero movie.
They still got that. Like, they still beat Captain Marvel to the punch, and we'll see what happens with 84. I'm very excited to see that. And also, I'm very excited to see that I feel like Patty Jenkins is going to have more clout to make the movie she wants.
Yeah.
because I do feel like there are some fingerprints, Snyder and some of the other creators on her film, and I think now that that's been exercised, I think I don't know. Also, she has an extra year, to get everything prepared. She has some breathing room. I think I'm very excited to see what she has planned for that film.
Yeah, totally. What is that? The only DC movie coming out that year? Because I feel like there's something else.
No, there has to be another thing.
Is it Suicide Squad?
Oh, maybe. Oh yeah, that's a good. Maybe it might be. Well,
I want to see what James Gunn does with Polka Dot Man.
Here's the thing: like, I would not be interested at all, but James Gunn is making it, so it was like, oh, okay, now I'm interested.
Yeah. I have this theory of, just because I know how Gunn works as a director, is that Polka Dot Man, everyone's going to make fun of Polka Dot Man for oh, you're going to die first, and he's the only survivor of the movie.
Oh, of course. Look, that's the way he works. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to see what he does. He has some of the characters that could have worked in the first one back, so it's like, okay, all right, good, they get a second chance. Like Amanda Waller should be well done. That's a really cool character. Don't mess that up.
Yeah.
So good. Okay, good. We got a second shot at this.
Oh, I think the other movie coming out from DC is 2020 is Birds of Prey.
Oh yeah. Has that been? I keep thinking that hasn't been finalized. Has that been finalized?
Yeah, the first teaser for it was I thought it was a Hot Topic commercial, but no.
Yes, yeah, the Harley Quinn one. Yes.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
We'll see. Man. Okay, so, yeah. Hey, James Cameron, we're going to keep making these superhero movies, and we're going to keep watching them. I hope that's okay with you.
I hope that it's okay. Oh, you're going to keep bitching and moaning about it and make Avatar movies? Okay. I will be sure not to watch them.
Let me, he's been really, upset and worried. What are you worried about? What, do you make less money? Do you get, residual checks for it being, at the top? Do you get, a coffee discount at Burger King because your film is number one? No. Do you? Maybe. Oh, damn, Marvel stole my free coffee to Burger King. So I don't know. It's look, man, you're still you. Your films are still your films. And their stature is still there. It doesn't, I don't know. I don't know what you're worried about.
Yeah. It I don't know. His two highest movies, one of them's been knocked down a peg, and the other one looks like it's going to be sharing the same fate. So I guess he's just mad that he's not number one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm having trouble feeling sorry for someone whose movie has only made $1 billion.
Yeah.
Oh man, you poor. Do you need me to send money to your GoFundMe? Are you okay?
You okay? You self-righteous prick?
It's not like you could do anything make another movie or something. I don't know.
Didn't you want to make a Spider-Man movie at some point, James?
Oh man. I wonder if he thinks. Oh, that's a good point. I wonder if he thinks about that. Damn. I almost had it. I almost had that. I almost had a piece of that superhero pie.
He's like your anime tsundere. He's like, it's not like I like your movies anyway, baka.
But the fact, I'm sure you know this, the fact that the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man has organic web shooters was because of Cameron. That was in his development of those scripts.
Oh, so that bullshit's his fault.
Yep, that bullshit is his fault, which actually even made it into the comics for a while.
I know, it was in the JMS run, right?
Yeah, Peter David and JMS, I think, were writing during that period, and that didn't last either.
Yeah.
So, James Cameron had done that. So, indirectly, his, influence did kind of, feed into the characters for a while.
Yeah. I don't know why you're mad. I don't know why you're mad, James. It's basically the same boss.
I know. It's like, okay, like, you're fine. You're fine. Are you okay?
You're good at making movies. I think the point is that I think he like deep down realizes that no one's gonna go watch his other Avatar movies.
Yeah, well, shit, no one talks about it. Like,
Yeah,
I've heard people, like, bring this up lately, and it's like, yeah, this movie's, like, it made a ton of money, but no one literally talks about it. No one cosplays as these characters. No one role plays as these characters. No one, like, does any fan art or huge discussions. Like,
yeah.
God,
I still don't know why Disney put that in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, look. Oh, yeah. Like, look, I mean, you can go on YouTube and see, like, 80 bullshit Star Wars videos. Talk about all aspects of the movies, good and bad, and, you know, in between. Like, you don't see any of that stuff with Avatar. Like, no one's theory. I mean,
unless the words are "The Last Airbender" at the end of it.
Oh, yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe probably after this, I'm going to go on YouTube and see if I can find any fan theory films about Avatar. Maybe there is. Maybe there is a culture of fandom for it that I'm just not noticing.
But yeah, it's just like, fuck you, James. So in conclusion, fuck you, James Cameron.
I know. It's like, well, yeah. I mean, I already made my point, but it's like, hey, James Cameron, calm down. You're fine. Like, everyone's good. We're all enjoying our movies. Look, you just make movies, and we'll watch those, or not. And, you know, we'll watch these movies. Like, look, you know, there is this kind of, I know we're getting away from the subject, but I mean, there is this culture in Hollywood that really resents how popular these movies are. Particularly the Marvel ones, but superhero movies in general, they're just, I don't know, there's just an attitude about it. Like, yeah, fuck these superhero movies getting in our shit. Like, we made great movies, like Cliffhanger.
Yeah, and you know, Bloodsport, and did you see Plan 9 from Outer Space? That was the shit.
Yeah, that was us.
That was the golden age of cinematography before, you know, we made like an entire decade of sci-fi B movies.
Yeah, look, you can't understand the complexity Hollywood makes of XXX movies.
Yeah.
And XXX 2.
Go to Universal and check out our, you know, 7 Fast and the Furious movies.
Yeah, man, like, you know, maybe if Hollywood made great art all the time, they would have some sort of leg to stand on in that argument. Like, but they don't. You know, they go through phases of making shit movies for a while. You know, like the early 2000s was a rough period.
Yeah.
Like, look, man, look, don't make Pearl Harbor and then lecture me about my movies.
Yeah, at least with Michael Bay, he's like, with superhero movies, he's like, it's just a thing.
Yeah, he gets it.
Yeah, he gets the beast. I mean, doesn't excuse him for making shit movies, but still, at least, like, he ain't a dick about it.
Well, look, say what you will about Michael Bay, he does understand how to manipulate audiences to give them what they think they want, or what they want, or, you know, however you want to look at it. He looks at this stuff more as a product than art. He's like, look, you got to hit A, B, C, and D, and you got a big hit. And I mean, it's hard to argue he's wrong. I mean, you know, he's made like shit movies, but they make money. So I mean, he does have a point. Yeah, my point is, like, you could do all that stuff and make a good movie. And there's a happy.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Endgame. Yeah, I mean, good lord, how good is Endgame? And it's great art and great commerce. So it's like there's a happy medium on that shit.
Exactly.
So we like the movie, right? We were talking a bit.
Oh yes, we love the movie.
Yes, I feel like we got off a little bit on the subject of the movie Avengers Endgame. So Yeah, I mean, I've already given my rating. I've definitely give it 5 out of 5 Ram chips. It's a must see. It's Return of the King for superheroes. It's excellent work, and it's a sign of things that have ended and sign of things to come. And I mourn the things that are over, and I am just waiting a bated breath for what it's promising in the future. So, yeah, I'm all in.
Yeah. Same with you. It is 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. All of that in a bag of chips for me. It's a beautiful swan song to this half of the Marvel universe.
Yeah, totally agree. All right, I think that's it. Any final thoughts on this, or that kind of did sound like final thoughts?
Other than, again, fuck you, James Cameron. I'm good.
Yeah, hey, James Cameron, back off, man. I'll watch whatever movies I want.
Yeah.
All right, James Cameron, I'm gonna watch what's that Ally McGraw movie? Love Story. Yeah, take that, James Cameron.
I'm gonna go back and watch your first cinematic experience in Piranha 2.
Yeah.
How's that, Cameron?
Gonna stop us? No. I'm gonna watch Manos: The Hands of Fate because of you today. There's a sequel, Manos Returns. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I heard about that, and I was like, really?
Yeah. I'm gonna see it, James Cameron.
Yeah.
All right, that's my takeaway. Avengers Endgame was great. Go see Manos Returns. All right, I think that's it. Hey, check me out on my various social media stuff, Twitter, Facebook, and if you can, support this channel through Patreon. Please like and subscribe and click the notification bell, because apparently that's important to YouTube, and if it's important to YouTube, oh boy, it's important to me. So also do likewise with my friend's YouTube channels. He's got 2. He's got like the Deadpool channel, Deadpoolzilla channel, and Comic Universe.
Yes, we desperately like some subscribers, because we're kind of economically fucked right now. So please,
they are economically fucked. Do you hear that? You need to help these people. These poor, economically fucked people.
Yeah.
So help me too.
Fun fact, kids, don't go into the YouTube monetization game right after the adpocalypse.
Oh boy, that's bad. Yeah, that's a bad. Is that? Do you guys? Do you have a partnership?
Yeah, we do have monetization, but like the day we got monetization, the second adpocalypse happened.
Yeah, that's awful. I got kicked off the partnership program because they changed their rules like overnight, and I suddenly didn't apply. And that sucks. But there are times where it's like, I'm gonna have to put up with a lot of crap. So sometimes I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Like, sure, they don't suggest my videos as much, but that has something to do with probably the fact that I'm not like sexist. So it's like, man, how Brie Larson ruins the new Spider-Man movie.
I at some points I'm like half expecting a movie of like seeing a video on my feed like, how does Brie Larson screw up the new Spider-Man movie? Let's find out. I'm like, wow, you have never been kissed by a woman, have you?
Oh, it's awful. It's awful. Brie Larson thinks she's too good to appear in Spider-Man Far From Home. Why does let's see, I don't know who's random. Like, why does the guy who plays Happy Hogan hate her?
Yeah. What what's another one?
Catherine...
hating Brie Larson will make me think my dick is getting bigger.
Oh, now what's the evil cabal of Brie Larson, Kathleen Kennedy, and the creators of the new She-Ra have against you, Todd?
Yeah. by Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, if I made those videos, I'd probably be a partner again.
Yeah.
But I can't do it. I'm not an asshole.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll end on that note. Yeah, I'm not an asshole.
Yeah.
Enjoy our videos because we're not assholes.
Please do.
We're the best kind of assholes.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're talking a long time on this subject. All right, let's. All right, we gotta go, folks. So say goodnight, Deadpoolzilla.
Good night, one and all.